Why is the United States actively gearing up for conflict in the Southern Caribbean? To understand this, we must examine the significant reactivation of Cold War infrastructure that has remained inactive for years. What is taking place at the Roosevelt Roads Naval Station in Puerto Rico? Once the largest U.S. naval base globally, this facility was shut down in 2004. However, reports indicate it is being swiftly revived. The U.S. military is converting the civilian area back into a forward operating base. And what's happening at the Henry E. Rohlsen Airport? Situated in the U.S. Virgin Islands, it's not just catering to tourists anymore. It's being transformed into a logistics center to facilitate heavy military transport. But why is the U.S. undertaking this initiative now? There are two primary catalysts. Is it due to Russia and China? Indeed. Intelligence suggests that Moscow and Beijing are not merely visiting Venezuela. They are trying to establish permanent military installations. The U.S. perceives this as an existential danger, a breach of the Monroe Doctrine that they cannot overlook. Is it motivated by oil? Certainly. We are already witnessing signs of impending conflict. U.S. Coast Guard helicopters have been observed intercepting and confiscating oil tankers departing Venezuelan waters. They're cutting off the regime's revenue stream before the actual combat begins. If an assault occurs, what vessels are already stationed near Puerto Rico? The U.S. Navy has formed a specific kill chain. They are deploying the USS Jason Dunham, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. Its function isn't just as a guided missile destroyer, it also serves as an electronic warfare platform. The Jason Dunham is positioned to jam Venezuelan communications and blind their coastal radars. They are the initial line of assault to confuse the adversary. And why is the USS Stockdale present? The Stockdale acts as the defensive shield. Armed with advanced Aegis missile defense systems, its purpose is to intercept any anti-ship missiles Venezuela retaliates with against the fleet. But how can we be sure this isn't an invasion and merely a blockade? Due to the USS Iwo Jima, it is a sizable amphibious assault ship. One doesn't deploy this vessel unless planning to put troops on the ground. It's designed to launch waves of Marines onto a hostile shore. But the U.S. isn't just attacking from the north. They are utilizing the island nation of Trinidad and Tobago to seal the back entrance. How are they leveraging Trinidad? The U.S. Navy is employing these waters to blockade the Gulf of Paria. Here, the USS Gravely is the hunter. The Gravely serves as a watchman, ensuring no Venezuelan submarines or speedy boats can escape into the Atlantic, threatening shipping lanes. And what role is the USS Lake Erie fulfilling? This Ticonderoga-class cruiser is the commander. It oversees air defense for the entire mission, orchestrating the movements of all ships and aircraft from its advanced command center. But ships are slow, so how will the U.S. initiate the first strike? This is where air power comes into play. The B-52 Stratofortresses won't even touch down in the Caribbean. They will fly directly from the continental U.S., deliver their substantial payload of cruise missiles, and return home without ever landing. What about the B-1 Lancer? These supersonic bombers will be deployed for rapid strikes. They can swoop in at low altitude and high speed to obliterate hardened targets before the enemy even realizes they are there. But from where will most of the Air Force operate? This is why Roosevelt Roads in Ceiba, Puerto Rico, is so vital. It places tactical aircraft mere minutes away from the target. The MQ-9 Reapers will hover over Venezuela for hours, tracking mobile missile launchers and eliminating them with Hellfire missiles the moment they move. Meanwhile, the F-35s will function as the entry point. Their mission is to infiltrate Venezuelan airspace unnoticed and neutralize the S-300 air defense systems so that other aircraft can fly safely. The V-22 Ospreys bring speed and adaptability. These tiltrotor aircraft will launch from the USS Iwo Jima in Puerto Rico to deploy special forces deep behind enemy lines. But all that firepower needs fuel, hence the KC-130s. These tankers will circle near the combat area, allowing the F-35s and other jets to remain in action for hours without returning to base. Lastly, why the C-17 cargo transports for logistics? You cannot wage a war without provisions. The C-17s will be flying uninterrupted into Roosevelt Roads and Henry E. Rohlsen Airport, delivering tanks, ammunition, and troops required to maintain the assault. So, is the attack unavoidable? When you observe the bombers on standby, the amphibious vessels in position, and the forward bases being reactivated, it appears the decision has already been made. We will explore various scenarios and strategies from both sides. The U.S. Navy's task force near Venezuela employs a diverse strategy, combining surveillance, targeted strikes, and amphibious assaults to confront both the military and powerful drug cartels. Destroyers provide advanced air and missile defense while retaining the capability for precision strikes deep within Venezuela. But for a land invasion from the sea, amphibious assault ships are key. These vessels carry thousands of Marines trained for rapid expeditionary raids, ready to seize vital infrastructure and collaborate with opposition forces. Here comes the nuclear-powered attack submarine, which operates covertly and silently along Venezuela's maritime pathways. It collects critical intelligence by intercepting communications and monitoring naval movements. It can deliver surprise long-range missile strikes to disrupt regime command and control, jam air defenses, or destroy military installations. Its presence also deters any third-party naval reinforcements from countries like Russia or Iran, complicating any attempts to bolster the Maduro regime. The P-8 Poseidon aircraft extend the task force's vision and awareness over a vast expanse. They conduct ongoing intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance missions deep into Venezuelan airspace and waters, tracking air defense systems, military activities, and cartel smuggling operations. These aircraft collaborate closely with surface and underwater naval assets to designate targets for missile strikes and monitor submarine movements. They are also capable of executing electronic warfare operations to disrupt Venezuelan communications and command networks, limiting the regime's operational responsiveness. But why does a single submarine pose a significant threat to an entire navy? The answer lies in these torpedoes. Let's examine how it operates. Pressurized air propels the torpedo towards its target. Step 1. The piston engine with propellers maximizes the torpedo's velocity. Step 2. It trails a wire connected to the weapon systems aboard the submarine, using data for navigation. Step 3. The torpedo accelerates to 32 knots over 35 miles per hour, with a range of 8 miles or 12 kilometers. Step 4. As it approaches its target, the wire is severed, and its sonar takes over navigation. Step 5. If the torpedo misses its mark, it can circle back and begins hunting the target with its sonar. This single torpedo possesses the explosive power of 1,200 pounds of TNT. I doubt you want to be on the receiving end of this weapon. Reports suggest that a new variant of the Barracuda torpedo, featuring supercavitation, is planned as the latest enhancement. How would Venezuela counter a U.S. command of the seas? The military and cartels are preparing to defend the regime and maintain control through a mix of conventional and asymmetric tactics. The Venezuelan military, although smaller and technologically inferior, relies on knowledge of local geography, layered air defense systems, and large-scale militia mobilization, reportedly numbering over 4.5 million, to counter amphibious assaults and defend critical infrastructure. The military engages in coastal and naval patrols to challenge U.S. naval operations and employs missile systems to threaten incoming aircraft and vessels. The Venezuelan cartels, intricately linked with some military factions, use their knowledge of the terrain, fast boats, and smuggling networks to complicate maritime interdiction. Their strategies involve evading surveillance through irregular paths, blending with civilian traffic, and leveraging the dense jungle terrain for cover against raids. Thus, the probable conflict scenario involves layered U.S. efforts to monitor and interdict cartel trafficking by harnessing aerial surveillance and naval blockades, combined with submarine strikes and missile attacks against regime military infrastructure to diminish their response capability. While U.S. amphibious forces would act decisively to capture strategic points, suppress resistance, and isolate Maduro's loyalists. This is how Venezuela will mount a hybrid defense, fusing conventional military resistance, local militia networks for asymmetric warfare, and cartel tactics to sustain illicit operations and hinder U.S. advances. This intricate confrontation reflects both sides' strategic priorities. The U.S. aims to dismantle narcotics networks and exert pressure for regime change through overwhelming technological and tactical superiority. while Venezuela relies on its numerical militia mobilization, intimate terrain knowledge, and asymmetric tactics to counterbalance its disadvantages in technology and firepower. Lastly, here comes Russia. Russia is likely to supply Venezuela with long-range drones like the Shahed and Jiran models. These drones could be deployed by Venezuela for covert strikes against U.S. assets, leveraging their loitering capabilities to conduct precision assaults on airfields, command centers, or logistics hubs. This would be part of a broader strategy to counter U.S. military pressure and project asymmetric threat capabilities. We also conducted a thorough examination of the sea, air, and land components of the nuclear triad. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.